up, everybody? All right, Rick here with Everything's a Choice. Let's go ahead and get into it today. Today, we're going to talk about some pretty heavy stuff, but we're just going to tip the iceberg, just like all of these things. I need to get the bites in there because I could talk for hours on this, but I think that you can get the first part of it pretty quickly. Did you ever have a moment? Have you ever had a moment where you've been saying something for a long time? You've always had this thought and people are like, yeah, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. And then you happen to watch a movie where something you've believed has just showed up on the movie screen. Something where you're like, that's what I've been saying for a long time. I believe that. That's what I've been saying. And it just, boom, there's an actor or a scene in the movie that talks about the thing that you're like, that's what I always say. Well, that happened to me with this movie right here. So here's a Will Smith clip from After Earth that pretty much says what I've been saying for a while. Check it out.
And it dawned on me. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Qatar. Now, do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story. And that day mine changed.
All right. Welcome back. That was the scene that I was like sitting there just, that's my thing right there. Fear is not real. It's a possible future that may or may not ever happen. We create imaginary outcomes that run away from us, make us paralyzed, make it so we don't do the things that we believe in for ourselves, maybe even make us not believe in ourselves. The idea itself can break us from what it is that we want to do, whether it's fear of rejection, fear of embarrassment, fear of being good enough, fear of the risk of losing it all. We make up all these things that could go wrong that aren't actually reality. It's just a possibility. But the possibility is enough for you to stop going for your dream, quit on your goal, or even easier, just quit on yourself. It's not real. Fear is just a thing that we make up a future. That's not to say that danger isn't real. Danger is a reality, and having respect for dangerous situations doesn't mean you have to be terrified of it. But there's only two kinds of people in this world. You're either trained or you're untrained. You're either prepared or you're not prepared. So consider this. This is something I work with my guys. There's a lot of guys who have anxiety or fears, or they get paralyzed by maybe, could've, would'ves, maybe it wills. It's not real. Those aren't happening. But consider any hero movie you've ever watched, something where there's a moment where they have an ability or a duty or something comes up where they have to figure this out. They got to work it through. They got to learn how to do this new thing. Whatever it is, something's changed and they have to practice. They got to work on it. I consider choices to be that thing. Choices is your ability to see into the future and or make an impact on what's going to happen next, right now. It's probably the most powerful ability you have because you can literally plan for the future. You can call that what you will. If you're religious, you'll call it free will. God has given you free will to make your choices and decisions on what you believe is best. If you're an evolutionist or you fall into another category, you'll say, we've evolved to be the only creature that can have the foresight to see forward and plan for 2 weeks, 6 months, 2 years from now. We can make plans for what the future that we want to have is going to be and work towards that potential future. My dog doesn't do that. He wants treats and belly rubs and then takes a nap. He's not thinking about making plans for 2 or 3 years down the road. He just wants to be a dog. Most animals run that way, but not humans. We have a different ability. This is an amazing thing for you to really soak in because it can change everything from what anxiety or feeling like something bad is going to happen is going to do, because now you have a power that you have to practice. And understanding that your fear that paralyzes you for what could happen is actually an ability to be able to control the choice. Hear me out. If what you're doing is looking into possible futures, my challenge is that it now gives you the foresight to decide what to do about them before they happen. Now, if you have ever practiced anything, you've trained anything, I don't care if it's throwing a bowling ball, swinging a golf club, playing guitar, playing violin, I don't care, pick any skill. The more you practice that skill, the more you work on that, the less afraid you are at that skill. You feel competent, you feel confident, you feel ready. But if you don't practice this, it runs away from you, which is what fear is doing. It's your imagination running away from you and just controlling everything around what you've got to choose. It muddies the waters. But consider that ability that you're doing to see the future is actually just your foresight being unpracticed. You just aren't training that skill. If you get control of this, you're really looking into possible futures, which allows you to prepare. This allows you to be ready for whatever could go wrong, and you get to choose what you're gonna do about it. This is an amazing ability, and it makes it so that your fears are actually your awareness. And when you can see what the potential things that can go wrong are, now you can prepare. Now you set up. Now you eliminate things you don't think could go wrong, and you get ready and have closure on things that could go wrong. It doesn't matter if you're asking someone on a date or going for your biggest dream, whatever it is, if you try and look forward with what you're afraid of, it also gives you the opportunity to choose, how would I deal with that if that did go wrong? So that's something I want you to really soak in. Really, really soak in the idea that your fear is not real, but it does give you foreshadowing and foresight to potential things to be ready for. This gives you power, confidence, and the ability to do something about it. Like I said, trained or untrained, prepared or unprepared. You become a powerful asset in the people that you know. You're no longer a person who slows people down or somebody who becomes the problem because you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Slow down. The things that you're afraid of are revealing the opportunity to be ready. The answers are all around us. The choices are always there, but if you don't practice and you don't train, it'll run you. You don't run it. Soak that in. Fear is not real. Danger is real. Don't do dangerous things. Have respect for danger, but you do not have to be paralyzed by fear at things that are not happening. Now, once you start to see that fear is something that you control, you can have courage in the face of things that you are unsure of. You know, certainty is there that you're going to be okay because you've been okay through worse things than these scenarios. And you know that most of the stuff you're worried about, you've already thought of and prepared for, and or have closure for what could go wrong, like a rejection or embarrassment. You're going to realize that fear is just like everything. It's a choice.